Hi guys, welcome back to our video again. Today we talk about air filters. So into this store that mainly sells car engine oil, spark plug, fuel additive, etc. We came here because the price is attractive. So we are getting the recharge for this brand called the K&N filter. We brought it home to unbox. So you get a bottle of red oil for you to oil the air filter, and also a cleaner to wash off the dirt, and also the instruction manual because it's our first time doing this. So we probably will spend some time reading it. First thing is to remove the parts needed to access to the air filter and take it out by starting off with the seat. Okay, first thing we gotta do is to lift up the tank so we can have access to the air filter or the air box. Usually most of the air filters are underneath the tank. So like the scrambler or the scooter usually is at the side or somewhere near the rail. Okay, I dropped the washer. It's okay, so we gotta find it later on. And we need to remove this handphone holder, is in the way. Now we lift up the tank slowly. Okay, here we go. So right now we need to loosen this bolt to lift this tank higher so we can have clear access to all the bolts, especially the one inside. So we loosen the nut and then we see whether we can lift this up further. Okay, great, we can do that. So what we gotta do next is to use this plank, okay, and then to lift it up higher so we have clear access to everything. Push it up. Okay, and okay, so I managed to lift it up higher than the original lever that they provide, and then I pin it at the triple clamp of the fork below. So what we gotta do next is to remove all these bolts and then take out the air filter. So we took out all the screws here in order to lift up this. Okay, so we took out the last screw. And once we took out all the screws, we can remove the airbox cover. These are all the ECUs and the fuels and the sensors. So we can take it and then put it one side. So we can take them out and leave it one side. Once you remove this, so we're gonna take out this air filter and bring it to wash. So we start from the top. So according to K&N itself, they mentioned that you are only required to clean their filter every 50,000 kilometers. So it's a bit unbelievable for that. So take them out. Okay, keep the screw safe. From what we see here is pretty dry. It's supposed to be like a red, I suppose. Okay, but pretty dusty, you can see here, but it's not as bad as we thought. You still can see through. So we gotta bring this back to wash. So there's a lot of parts to take out in order to access the air filter if they are under the tank. Unlike the scooter one or the scrambler one is on the side. So luckily you just need to do this every once a year or maybe twice a year. Unless you live in a desert, then different case. So we gotta bring this back to wash. We brought some tape. So I noticed there's a lot of sand inside. So probably it's being stuck in by this wind tunnel here. And then being blocked by the air filter, and then you have access here. So I brought a tape, sort of like to clean it up. I tried a vacuum, but the handheld vacuum wasn't powerful enough. So you really want to be very careful, so make sure your dirt don't drop over here. So I use a tape because the tape is sticky, so I can stick up all the dirt if I need to, and then dispose them away. There are service providers out there to help you to oil your air filter, but they do not help you to take out the oil filter, which I think that's the whole purpose of engaging a service provider. Since that's the case, that's why we do it ourselves. Especially the corners, there's a lot. So after we have cleaned up this area, we need to cover this thing back. It will take about a while. So in order to prevent anything from going in, it's best that you cover up. So you won't get surprised later, like I don't know, some bugs will go in, or a little lizard friend will go in. So we just cover them up, just to be safe. Don't need to be too tight because you will be removing it later on. And of course, you don't want dirt to go in as well. Once anything enter into your cylinder, it will basically cause permanent damage. Okay, so just cover them up. And then what we can do now is to temporarily put everything back. Okay, so everything back and then close the lid. We are not going to screw anything back at this point because later on we got to open it again. So we just keep all the stuff here and then we can use it later on. So now we are all packed up and then we are ready to go back and wash the filter. So ensure the screw is here, nothing is missing. After reading the instruction, so we got this cleaner out, air filter cleaner out. So we are supposed to spray this on both sides, the front and the back. Okay, the front, which is the one you facing early on, which is the clean side, and the dirty side, which is the one facing down bottom, where the air comes in. So we are supposed to spray it and soak it for 10 minutes. So let's try it out. So it's also my first time doing this. Okay, don't know. So we spray from the top to the bottom. Then move it around. This is the dirty side. We shall see how dirty it is. Oh, look at the dirty water. Okay, so now after 5 minutes, okay, we just knock off a little bit. I try to respray it again, give it another more layer. Okay, 10 minutes up, so we gotta bring this to wash. Let us shake off the... Oh, look at how dirty it is. Okay, so let us shake some of them off before we bring it to wash. So as per instructed, we have to clean it from the top side down, which is the clean side. Clean side to the dirty side, so you don't want to flip over so the dirty water will actually ruin the clean side. Tap water should be fine, so let us try it out. You can see the dust is coming up from the sink. Also mentioned not to use high pressure water, so I guess they are afraid that high pressure would destroy this mesh and also the sponge inside. Okay, the water looks clean now. Okay, so I think stop and find a place to air dry. So this is after the wash. It doesn't look much different. I think the grey is slightly lighter tone. Looks more clear under the light. Okay, so we shall find a place to dry it. In order to ensure that it's really dried out, what we do now is we use a hand dryer, set it in low temperature and blow dry it. Just want to tap it, ensure there's no water, and we are ready to oil. So from what we see at this point, the filter looks much lighter in color, okay, as compared to yesterday when it was dirty. So now we need to apply the oil. Unsealed. So there's a sealant underneath the cap that we need to remove as well. So it's red. So while I was oiling the air filter, this question popped out in my mind. Is it really worth spending hours to recharge this? Or you just probably pay $40–50 to get a new one and get it done within 30 minutes? Maybe you can share your opinion under the comment section. Okay, we kind of over oil the filter. So after 20 minutes, we see a lot of oil leaking out from the filter. So we managed to clean the mess up. So just a little bit of oil is enough. So we are a little bit too aggressive on it, but who knows, good lesson learned. You can see now the filter is red instead of grey. This is supposed to be how it's supposed to be. Now we are back to install this back to the airbox. We have set up the tank, and now we are ready to put it back. So we found that this thing actually broke off, and then instead of keeping it dangling around and then this thing causing a lot of vibration and noise, I think we should just cable tie it somewhere here. Okay, so just to keep it there in place. Okay, then we connect this overflow pipe back to the tank. So you close the tank, just ensure that nothing is clipped in between, so you won't snap any wire. And now we will lock the tank back. Tighten back the tank. Okay, so we tighten the bolt back. Okay, we are done. The last thing is just to put the seat back, and then we are good to go to test it out. Weird, something is wrong. So my initial thought should be the fuel line, which wasn't connected correctly. So let's open up and try it out. So there's two clips somewhere here. We just push a little bit of the clip inside here behind the fuel line, and then once we turn on the engine, this time round we can hear the fuel pump working. So now let us try whether the engine will start up. All good now. Then we can tidy up the whole thing and then call it a pack up. And now we tighten back the tank. Alright guys, thank you for watching this video. See you on our next video again. Bye.